Hi, in this video we're going to be showing you how to assemble this table, but before we get started, just a couple reminders. First, make sure you have a screwdriver ready to go. Second, another person can be helpful in putting this together. And third, just make sure you put it together on a soft surface so you don't scratch any of the pieces. So with that in mind, let's get started. In step 1, you'll be putting the dowels into all of piece 6. And we've already done that here, but you just want to make sure that you put in 4 of dowels A and 2 of dowels B. And be sure that you put the B dowels into the smallest holes on the end so they fit snugly and not accidentally into the larger holes. And once you do all 16 of those, you're good to move on to step 2. In step 2, we'll be attaching the first piece 6 to all of the rings for the base of the table. And so you want to be sure that you have the smallest dowels on the end on the same side as the smallest ring, which is piece 3. And you also want to be sure that you have the sloping sides facing up, and for piece 3, that'll also be the side with the notches. So we'll go ahead and line this up with the dowels. And it doesn't matter which one you start first, just as long as they go in correctly. And then you can go ahead and put in screw C to this piece. Okay, and once you have that piece on, we can go ahead and put piece 4 onto this piece as well. And once again, you just want to make sure that you have the smaller end facing the same way as piece 3. So we'll go ahead and put this together. Okay, and once you have those dowels in the hole, you can go ahead and put in another screw C. All right, and once you have that secured, we can do the same thing again with piece 5. All right, and once you have all of those pieces on, you'll be good to move on. And don't worry if they're a little crooked. Once you get all the legs on, they'll slowly straighten out. For step 3, we'll be attaching the rest of piece 6 around the edges of the rings. So we'll just follow the same process as step 2 and just do one at a time, and you'll be good. All right, once you have all of those pieces onto the base, you're good to move on to step 4. In step 4, we'll be attaching piece 2 to piece 1. And with this, you want to make sure that you have piece 2 facing downwards so that this notch goes over the piece in the center. You can go ahead and line those holes up, and then you're good to put in bolt E. And with this, just make sure that you have the washer attached. So you can go ahead and put these in. And just put each bolt in part way until you get all of them in, and then you can tighten them completely. And when you're putting these bolts in, just make sure they're nice and snug, but not overly tight because you could risk going through the other side of the table. All right, and once you have all of those in, you're good to move on. In step 5, we'll be attaching the base of the legs to the top of the table. So with this, you can go ahead and grab these. And just make sure that this notch on the top piece lines up with the bar on the top of the table. And then just go ahead and slide this piece along the center beam until the holes in the base line up with the top of the table. And then you can go ahead and put in bolts D. And once you have all of those bolts in part way, you can go ahead and tighten them completely, and then you'll be good to move on. For our final step, we're going to go ahead and attach these felt stickers to the bottom of the table. And you just want to make sure that you have those equally spaced out across the whole bottom, and then you're all done. We hope this video was helpful for you in assembling your new table. For more guides, tips, and tricks, go to walkeredison.com.